As Dimir Midrange reasserts its hold over Standard, at the time of recording, I thought it would be an excellent time to stop in by Lost Caverns of Ixalan's most relevant contribution to Standard, Spyglass Siren, the adorable, tiny 1-mana 1/1 flyer that absolutely could, and is honestly way more important to the Dimir Midrange deck than you might realize. This little guy, girl, pirate is a fantastic card and a wonderful litmus test to see if you understand which of the two halves of this on the battlefield is the half that you actually want to return with your Fear of Isolation for maximum return on value. The answer is it's the Spyglass Siren, unless you have a Kaito in hand, in which case you want to leave the Spyglass Siren on the battlefield and then return it to hand with a different effect. While I recently talked about Novice Inspector, I didn't go too much into Spyglass Siren because while the cards seem superficially very similar, 1-mana 1-power creatures that generate an artifact token on entering, generally used in a bounce-centric deck to generate much more value than you would normally get off of a 1-drop card, Spyglass Siren has a meaningful difference in that, unlike the Inspector and its more powerful spend more mana to definitely draw a card, the Siren's power is actually in its utility as a creature. It's evasive. Now, yes, obviously there are going to be situations where, say, you're playing a Spyglass Siren and then turn to casting Ensoul Artifact and attacking with a 5/5 map token, but in reality, Siren plays much more like a modernized Delver of Secrets, a small creature that, when properly supported with counter magic and other sorts of protection, absolutely annihilates people starting on turn 1. The Siren can be a 2-mana 2/2 flyer that surveils, that's also paid in installments, which is just fantastic as it is. Or you can hold up your 2-mana to, say, Essence Capture your opponent's creature, and then make your Spyglass Siren a 2/2 that way. Or you can bounce any of the cards with Nurturing Pixie, or Fear of Isolation. Or you can point the Explore effect at your Azure Beastbinder and have a 2/4 that can't reasonably be blocked by anything ever, and then sacrifice your tiny blue creature to a Flare of Denial. The uses of Spyglass Siren are many and varied, and it sees play in all of the places that it should, which is everywhere, except for Modern. And I think it's extremely telling that the reason that Spyglass Siren doesn't see play in Modern is because of Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, a direct-to-Modern printed 1-drop that essentially was targeted to remove Spyglass Siren from the format, a thing I'm definitely not upset about. Please don't post about how I'm upset about it, like and subscribe, but ultimately the conversation about Spyglass Siren comes down to using it as a good alternative to Delver of Secrets. Obviously, Delver is an absolutely cracked card. There is a reason that it has maintained its position in the Magic consciousness, and while both Delver and Siren have some inherent randomness in achieving their maximal power output, at least for a given situation, part of Spyglass Siren's Spower, part of Spyglass Siren's power is in its flexibility rather than its raw damage output. The deck building restrictions that Delver imposes on you are extremely rare if you're not in a format like Legacy, where you already want to be playing a deck that has nothing but instants and sorceries in it anyway. In fact, slotting a Spyglass Siren can actually increase your ability to play more and different stuff in your deck, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't know when we're next going to see a printing of Spyglass Siren. I think it's much more likely that it will be allowed to rotate and we'll receive different blue 1-drops that are interesting and flexible in other ways. But honestly, I would love to see it again, partially because exploring is an absolutely fantastic mechanic. The more that design explores how incredible surveilling is, the more that Magic players are coming to understand and love it. But I also genuinely think map tokens might be one of the best balanced artifact tokens that have been created. Treasure and clues are busted, food is underpowered unless it's being supported by a set mechanic, blood is just everything a map token wants to be, and I refuse to acknowledge the existence of commander-specific artifact tokens until they're printed into Standard.